From the Louisville Slugger Dome in Peoria, Illinois, we're moments away from the John Bradley Softball Long Ball Derby. Happy Friday, everybody. Larry Larson, Joey Wright in with you. Glad you're with us. And, Joey, this should be a lot of fun. The name is pretty self-explanatory. A long ball derby. The further the distance of the swing, the more money's raised for Bradley softball.
Absolutely. I can't think of many better ways to spend a Friday afternoon, I should say. Our Friday's just getting started here on ClutchSportsIL.com. But, yes, the name, very self-exclamatory. Long ball derby. You hit the ball as far as you can, you're going to raise some money. We'll take a look at some of the donations that Bradley Softball has brought in this week for the Long Ball Derby. They've raised almost $10,000, and that's just in flat donations. 172 donors have gone in on this, and we have 60 distance-based donations where donors have pledged a certain amount of money per foot of the ball, after it travels via the swing. So that's where it can come in to where, if you're hitting the ball well today, you're going to raise some money. 25 former Braves involved, plus former head coach Stephanie McAllister, and we've had 19 donations of $220, and we'll explain a little more about that as we go along, but that gets you into the 220 Club, a new thing that Bradley Softball is starting this year. So a lot of money's been raised so far, and now it's time to, put your money where your mouth is, if you will, and try to raise even more.
Indeed, and the batters will hit in numerical order today. So we're going to start with Katie Peterson, the freshman from Verona, Wisconsin. And the folks at home might be wondering, how do you track these swings? How do you track the distance? Well, we've got the Hit Tracks machine out, and you can find that in the upper left corner of your screen right there as our hitters take their swings today. And we are underway. Blooper down the right field line. Of course, Joey, the furthest swing is the one that counts for each player. So just one swing counts for the distance, and that one might be a counter.
Katie Peterson really hitting the ball well in the early going, celebrating a birthday today, and this is her first opportunity to showcase her skills in a Bradley uniform. Long ball right now, 133 for Katie Peterson. Katie Peterson last year in high school, 16 doubles, 7.64 slugging percentage, and an average of 438. So a really good hitter, Katie Peterson.
Fun way to start your really first appearance in a Bradley uniform. I suppose uniform might be a bit of a stretch in the warm-up batting practice T-shirts today.
Yeah, practice gear.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Bobby Parker along for the ride today, Bradley Sports Information Director. Oh, man, I don't think Katie's too happy about that one. Teammate knocking that one out of midair. 197 on that one. Got to give a shout out to our entire crew today. Matt Harrington at the controls, Jonathan Michael operating the camera. A little bit of harm's way behind home plate.
Couple things to keep an eye on, Larry. Going to be a lot of fun to, first of all, watch the teammates out in the outfield shagging this afternoon. And Katie Peterson really off to a great start. I'm sure we're going to see some at-bats today where you might have a wasted swing. As I say that, she fouls one off, where, you might have a little chopper, a little grounder, a little dribbler. But every swing Katie has had cleared the infield at least, got into the outfield. So
197 is the furthest swing from Katie Peterson, getting us started in a big way.
Happy birthday, Katie Peterson, 197.
What better way to spend it? Next batter is Jordy Vanderwerf, the sophomore catcher and utility player from Tucson, Arizona. Bet she's happy to be inside the dome today and not outside in the cold Illinois weather.
I think we all are.
I would agree. It is a little chilly in here, I do have to say.
A little drafty, I agree.
First swing from Vanderwerf, 162, and that one's going to leave the yard. 215 on that one. That one to dead center. That one also leaves the yard. Just a nice, easy swing from Vanderwerf, and she is crushing the ball.
Vanderwerf platooned at catcher last season, didn't have any home runs for the Braves, but her junior year at Mountain View High School, she did hit 7 home runs. So got a lot of power in that bat. I know head coach Amy Hayes and company expecting big things from Vanderwerf this season as she continues to clear the fence.
Putting on a display here in just our second batter. Ground ball to left. Line drive, and Joey, I said it a moment ago, but the one thing that really strikes me about Vanderwerf's swing is just nice and easy. Looks relaxed as she belts another long ball out of here. 249 is the long ball for Vanderwerf. How about that? That might be a tough number to beat.
I was just thinking that, certainly on the long ball, and she hit a couple out of the park. Now, Bradley's got a couple of great hitters on the roster, and a couple of assistant coaches are going to bat
Joey,
today
I
that
was
have,
going to say,
you know, some power in there too. Lucy Mead, a great hitter, certainly for average. But yeah, 249, that might be a tough number.
The one assistant coach I'm really excited to see hit, Joey, is Kaylia Wysocki. And I know both of us saw her power when she was a player at Bradley, so that'll be a lot of fun to watch as Mead sends one Apotako 209. Rips that one to right. One hopper off the fence. Gets under that one. That one's way out of here. 223 off the bat of Mead. Goes opposite field again.
Mead
off the base of the wall.
9 career home runs, 6 of those coming her freshman year. 2 home runs last season in 41 games. I believe that does include the inside the park home run against Missouri State. Lucy Mead's got a lot of speed and can cover a lot of range in the middle infield.
Obviously her bat's very good, but I think both of us know that her glove is fantastic. 226 right now, the high for Mead.
Ooh, that hit the top, that hit the roof.
I was wondering how many times that was going to happen today. Maybe we'll have to keep track of that. First roof shot. 226, the current high for Mead. She's got one more swing. Sent in to left center, and that one will fly over the fence. 223 remains the high for Lucy Mead. 226 actually remains the high for Mead. Nice showing from the senior infielder from West Seattle. And now, Joey, we've got a local player, Addie Welsh, a freshman from Mapleton, Illinois, and we saw her Illini Bluffs Tigers capture a state title just outside the Dome earlier this summer.
Yeah, Illini Bluffs Tigers, that was her first state title in program history, and Addie Welsh was a key player all 4 of her years in that program. You saw on your screen a 2-time All-State selection at Illini Bluffs. I believe that's 1A, right? IHSA, 1A, 2A?
I believe so, 1A or 2A, one of the small schools.
You see her stats from last season, they speak for themselves. 20 extra base hits, hit almost 600 and drove in 22 runs. And Amy Hayes and the rest of this Bradley coaching staff expecting big things from Welsh. You know, can contribute anywhere in the order. Just a player that can come out and get the job done.
Well, it's always fun when you can land a local recruit like that, and there's something to be said for winning at the high school level. She belts one over the fence and right. That one would have got out of the Dome.
Hit the ball really well.
Most impressive swing was the one to dead center. That one bounced off the batting cage, the inflatable batting cage out in center. And a frozen rope wraps it up for Welsh. 234. The high for Welsh. That's good for second place so far. Not too bad for the freshman.
I want to go back to what you said earlier, Larry. I'm starting to think that 249 might be a tough number to top. You know, Welsh got some really good swings in there. Lucy Mead hit the ball well. So I don't know. 249 could be the number we're looking at.
Foul ball straight back. Nearly got a piece of our camera on the distance tracker. Had us holding our breath there. Abbott Bagley at the plate now, the freshman from West Lafayette, Indiana. That one's crushed to deep left. That one might be up there in distance. 243 for Bagley.
That shows you how hard 249 is going to be to top because she got all of that one. And going back to what Abbott did at Harrison High School in West Lafayette, 15 RBIs her sophomore year, 454 average. she's certainly developed as a player since then. Expected to really contribute here in her 4 years on the hilltop. Really hitting the ball well, as so many have this afternoon.
She's bounced back nicely from nearly taking out our camera, I would say. Getting on top of the ball these last few swings. She's certainly left her mark. And there goes another one way out of here.
Oh,
272. Abbott Bagley to the top of the list.
And I don't know about you, Larry, but as soon as that left the bat, I started thinking, that's it. That had to have broken it, and it did. 272, and it broke it by a large margin.
Not even close.
Raised over almost $2,500 in that at bat. Oh my goodness!
How about that for your first Bradley appearance?
Oh, man.
Big money for Bagley. Reagan Brannon steps in now, the sophomore from Centralia. Rip to center. Blooper into right. And Joey, I believe this is our first pitcher at bat that we've seen today. Brannon, no at bats so far in her Bradley career, but raking it pretty good there. 169 on the line drive.
Well, and that's where some confusion came in, Larry, because it looks like she's wearing CAMRYN Schaller's helmet. So that was where she's got number 9 on the helmet. A little bit of confusion there, but yeah, Brannon, no at-bats. Did have a 4.76 ERA, pitched 40 innings last year, 39.2 innings, but close enough.
That one might leave the yard, and it does. Ooh. Look at the celebration in the outfield. Everybody holding their breath in suspense. That one just gets out of there. 188 on the homer from Brannon. Emma Jackson is going to take some swings here.
Yeah, recent graduate was Emma Jackson. Pitcher for the Braves, yeah. So we're kind of talking with Emma, or rather Amy Hayes there. Emma Jackson's first pitch line to right, and Coach Hayes points out, Larry, that Emma Jackson did not hit in her time at Bradley. It was just a pitcher, by and large.
Now volunteer assistant on the staff for Amy Hayes. One of those players who had their career cut short by the COVID year, and you know, I always feel for those folks. But she started that season in a big way. Won the season opening game against Arkansas, and that was Bradley's first top 25 win since 2017.
Yeah, those Braves were off to a really good start, and you get a little bit of what Emma Jackson did in the circle for the Braves. 50 starts in her 4 years. Really kind of a dependable sort of player that you need in the rotation. Also a couple appearances in relief, 24 of them to be exact. Hitting the ball well, though. Maybe
yeah, she's got a little pop in her bat.
Maybe Coach Hayes is starting to maybe rethink just using her as a pitcher. Fouls that one away.
Not too bad for just a pitcher. 131, I believe, the distance for Emma Jackson. Now, Emma Percival. Keeler Van Bruzigen steps in now, the senior from Columbia, Illinois. And Joe, you imagine that she'll have some pop in her bat. Had one home run her freshman season back in 2019. Belts the first one to deep center. That's 209 off the bat of Van Bruzigen. Sends one to right. That one will stay in the yard.
Must have put in some work in the cage this offseason, getting them towards the fence. That one clears the yard. Bruzigen really hitting it well. Laces another one out there.
Really compressing the ball into right center. Nice hitting approach from Van Bruzigen. Gets under that one, and that will get out into center. Hit 220 last season for Bradley. Nice catch out there in center. Hard to tell who these players are from our situation here behind home plate, Joey, but I suppose these shaggers are a little more talented than the ones you see in the Major League Baseball home run derby, the Boys and Girls Club kids out there.
Running over each other.
I've always thought that's very dangerous.
Yeah, no kidding. Running over each other, it's a stampede.
That one's way out of here for Van Breusingen. 219 the high for Keeler.
I do want to note real quick, Larry, one cool thing that our viewers will notice on the distance tracker top left of your screen is you kind of see the camera moving. It's an animation. You see the sky. You see a light there in your picture. But that kind of gives you an idea of what these hits would be in a real game situation. That'll be a fly out to left. So you kind of get an idea of, on your screen there, of where about everything is moving as Schaller fouls one back to us.
Yeah, Cam Schaller, a pitcher and utility player, so a two-way player for head coach Amy Hayes. One of a few lefties, and Joey, I'll be interested to see how the slap hitters treat this long ball derby sort of challenge. I think Bradley's got at least 2 or 3 of them. It'll be interesting. Last season, Schaller didn't pick up an at-bat, but again, listed on the roster as a two-way player. Posted a 3.21 ERA, sends that one high in the air, 181 off the bat. Sends that one right back to the screen.
Yeah, Schaller, one of Bradley's more dependable arms last season. 61 innings over the course of the year. Good ERA, and Bradley has a couple of pitchers that really came onto the scene last year. Grace French had a nice year. You'd expect that from her.
I know that was one thing that the Braves were a little concerned about coming off that COVID season in 2020, losing Emma Jackson. 203 the long for CAMRYN Schaller. Currently the longest long ball, if you will, belongs to Abbott Bagley, 272 for the freshman a few batters ago.
And if you missed that, rewind the tape. She absolutely crushed that ball.
Speaking of absolutely crushing the ball, that one 181 to the opposite field for Addison Pettit. Batting from the left side here, sophomore from Richland, Washington. Joe, you ever been to Washington State?
Never been out west, really. And Bradley has a couple players from that part of the country, a lot of players from California, Arizona, Colorado, and Washington. Lucy Means from West Seattle, but I've never been further west than Kansas City or so.
Kansas City's a nice place.
Yeah. Childhood home of Harry Truman in Independence,
yes.
Missouri, not too far away.
Meanwhile, Pettit still taking some swings here. Flares it to the opposite field again.
And I'm curious to see what Pettit does at the plate this season. You mentioned a moment ago, Larry, only 15 at-bats last season. No hits, but
243 off the bat of Pettit there.
Yeah. Well, and that's what piques my curiosity, because as a junior in high school, hit 649, twice an All-Stater, and continuing that here.
Nearly hits it on the other field, 256 for Pettit.
That's another mammoth blast. That might be trouble. See where they marked that last one, and she takes her last one right into the 246, her last swing. Hit that last one into the dome ceiling, but great performance from Pettit.
So Pettit slides herself into second place behind Bagley with 256-footer. Now Samantha Smith steps to the dish, the senior outfielder from Phillips Ranch, California. 2 career home runs for her. Belts that one to center. That'll get out of here and then some. 215 on her first swing. Second one off the top of the wall on a frozen rope.
213's not a bad way to start things out. That's, oh, was that kept in? Yeah, someone made a nice catch out there. Got the glove up in front of the lip of the fence.
Line drives off the bat from Smith. Had 9 RBIs last season. Really a line drive hitter, Joey. You see the approach, even in batting practice. staying right in the middle of that softball, not really getting too far under it or too far on top of it. And just as I say that, she gets well under it.
You'll hit some home runs with that approach, Larry, but I don't know that being a line drive hitter is conducive to getting that long ball. I think you want to get under it a little bit.
Then again, you don't want to mess up your swing too much.
It's true.
Season's starting in a few weeks.
That's true.
I think we're 2 weeks away.
I think so, and we'll take a look at the schedule at towards the end of the show. But yeah, season's approaching. Yeah, you don't want to throw off your swing here too much.
There's a good swing. 216 for Smith. I believe that was over Lucy Mead in center field. That one leaves the yard to right. A low liner ends Samantha Smith's swings. 216 the high for Smith.
Smith was really in a nice rhythm there.
Abigail Tyler steps up now, Elkhart, Indiana native, junior catcher and utility player. And Joey, I was reading her bio as we were preparing for this event as she belts one into left. One thing that jumped out to me in her bio, first Bradley softball player from Indiana since 2003. Hard to believe.
That is hard to believe.
Played 8 games last season. That one scrapes the dome ceiling.
Yeah, no graphic on the screen there for Tyler. I don't think that exported properly, but
no, Joey.
My apologies to Abigail. Hitting the ball well, though, and see if she takes on a bit of a bigger role on the team this year. You mentioned 8 games played last year.
Exactly 203 again.
And did well in her role, got on base some in those 8 games.
203 the current long ball for Tyler. It's underneath that one again, into right. Crushes that one to center. That'll be the long ball off the bat of Tyler so far, 219. That one another good one, a little further underneath it into center.
We'll note that though Tyler's the first Bradley player from Indiana since 2003, she's a junior. She's maybe paved the way for that pipeline to open up a bit. Abbott Badgley from West Lafayette, Indiana, had a nice appearance earlier. Has the long ball at 272.
Tyler right now in the 2 teens, forgot exactly what the number was. I think she's gotten at least 1 or 2 more swings here.
Yeah, and here you just want to straighten it out and just drive it.
Joey, I want to see you take some swings maybe.
Maybe if we have time, I'll have to get out there.
One of these days, maybe not today. I don't think the viewers want to see that. Mackenzie Taylor from Discover Peoria stepping into the box next. One of our perhaps celebrity, quote-unquote, appearances here. It's like a celeb shot in golf.
Yeah, a couple guest appearances today. Mackenzie Taylor, the first of which from Discover Peoria. And I will note, Larry, as Taylor takes a nice rip into center field, we're at the Louisville Slugger Dome here, and the Slugger Dome and the surrounding area really do a lot for the community. You know, they host a lot of youth events here. Bradley softball plays on the stadium field, one of 8 fields they have here. It's where Addie Welsh won the state title at Illini Bluffs this summer. But this is really a hot spot for Peoria. A lot of travel comes through here, a lot of commerce, and good to see that Peoria has really invested in the Louisville Slugger complex. And Mackenzie Taylor looking pretty good here.
Yeah, no kidding, taking some rips. Wonder where she played softball in her day, because she can't be any rookie. Played softball at Bradley. What do you know, Bobby Parker? Oh, never
for Bobby
mind.
Parker.
Oh, Bobby with a. That confused me, threw me for a loop. Coach Parker. I'll have to coach you up, Joey.
I was going to say, he coached Mackenzie Taylor up pretty good. She's
no kidding.
Taking some nice rips. I don't know. I feel like I'd get some good aluminum on the ball.
I must say I've never seen you swing any sort of softball or baseball bat. So good swings from Mackenzie Taylor there, who did in fact not play softball at Bradley. Do want to clarify that, of course, but nice guest appearance. Was really smoking cover off the ball there.
Has played right here in Peoria, though, to tie it right back into Discover Peoria.
Joey squeezing that one in.
Coach Huggins coming to the plate, it looks like here. If she is grabbing the bat or maybe just tossing some balls back out there. We'll see where we're at in the
got to refill the buckets.
Here, yeah. We were told, though, that all of the assistant coaches were expected to hit today. We've already seen Emma Percival, who Bradley fans will remember as Emma Jackson. So we'll see if Rachel Huggins picks the bat up now or if they'll just purely use this opportunity to relock and reload.
So far, $15,330 raised. That number passed along from Bobby Parker. That's flat donations and distance donations combined.
And it will be Rachel Huggins stepping into the batter's box from Mount Zion, Illinois.
And you hear the noise from the players. They're fired up to see their coaches take some hacks here. Tables turning. Rachel Huggins, primary hitting coach since 2018. So we'll see what she can do.
Well, Larry, she's taking batting practice here from Kalia Wysocki. And you see on your screen, Rachel Huggins hit 12 home runs in 2016 as a senior here at Bradley. That did stand as the record until Kalia Wysocki went on to break it a few seasons later. So two players here, pitch and catch, that know their way around the long ball.
Huggins really a great coach, and I think it's telling she's coached 4 players who have either tied or topped that record. Not a home run yet from Huggins. Taking a little off those swings, you know, Joey, once you step away from the game or at least game speed, you don't want to swing too hard.
No. But I will say she is hitting it hard. Not necessarily getting the lift or distance she needs. I think that's going to change right here. Oh, warning track
power. The broadcaster jinx.
Look good off the bat. She was hitting the cover off the ball, just didn't have enough to get it out.
It's all about that contact skill. As a coach, I suppose that's all you need, just to hit those fungos. And Joey, here we go. Kalia Wysocki steps in now. I got to say, I would not be shocked to see her set the long ball.
I wouldn't either. Kalia Wysocki is still very involved, even as a coach, and there's a hard hit ball that just misses on clearing the fence.
199 off the bat. Goodness gracious, I'd hate to be one of those softballs.
I'd hate to be one of the players in the outfield. I mean, this is the hardest we've seen the ball hit today.
Wysocki in her second year on the staff, class of 2020. Second in Bradley history with 29 homers, 8th all-time in RBIs.
Another one of those players from out west we talked about, from Thousand Oaks, California, 209 there for Wysocki.
Joey, I got to say, I think she's got to pull one if she wants to set the record. That one to center field, that'll leave the yard. 219, that's her longest long ball. I don't know if she'll get there, Joey. I don't know.
If she will either. Well,
really focusing on that opposite field approach.
Showcasing her skills as a hitter. I will say, though, that gives you more of an appreciation for what the long ball is. 272 feet. That's no easy task here.
That one might come close. It sails over the center field fence. 238. Kalia Wysocki saves the best for last.
And 238 is a respectable effort.
Respectable, indeed.
Pales in comparison to what Larry Larson might do, folks.
Oh, give me a break.
Matt Harrington, our producer.
Maybe with a golf club. Maybe not a softball bat. CAMRYN Montier to the plate now. Senior infielder and utility player from Missouri. Montier, Joey, if I'm not mistaken, a slap hitter, so it's one of those interesting at-bats for a player. I imagine it's probably pretty hard to hit a BP home run in a slap hitter position.
Yeah, no career home runs for Montier, but last year a second-team All-Missouri Valley Conference selection. Goes yard there. 207, the long ball right now for Montier.
A little bit of a bat flip, too.
Yeah.
Haven't seen too many of those today. I'd like to see more. Got to be honest.
Tongue-in-cheek, certainly. She's a terrific hitter. 342 average last season. Drove in 11 runs. Got on base a lot. Drew 20 walks. It was really her breakout season. As you see on your screen, 11 multi-hit games. En route to that second-team all-conference selection. Softball family. Her sister Haven played ball at Iowa.
Joey, the thing that jumps out to me about Montier's season last year was that jump in batting average from 269 to 342. Really became an integral part of last year's Braves squad, and you got to imagine she's going to follow that up with a great performance this upcoming season.
Yeah, big things expected from Montier as a whole. And I think at the plate, the Braves are going to be pretty capable this season. I would expect to see the Braves kind of in that top half of the valley, you know, first, second, third, fourth in average. I think it's going to be a team that can get on base a lot. Going to be a fun brand of softball to watch.
Shelby Kotzickian up to the plate now. Freshman from California belts that one well over the center field fence. 214, the long ball for her so far. Scrapes the ceiling with that swing. Liner into left. One of many Braves players from California on the roster this season and the last few seasons.
Yeah, Bradley and head coach Amy Hayes, they like to recruit players from out west. They like that style of play. And
it's that warm weather.
I was going to say.
Year-round softball.
A lot of times that's where they'll go to start the season. And again, we'll take a look at the Bradley softball schedule towards the end of our show here. But Kotzickian with a nice effort. 214 will be her long ball. Had a 500 career batting average at Lodi High School.
It's not too shabby.
Not at all.
I'll take a hit half the time.
I would too. I'd take a hit 2/4 of the time. Well, I guess that is half.
Grace French in to hit for Olivia Bradley to take her swings. Of course, send our thoughts to the Bradley family.
And Amy Hayes saying there that these swings will count for Olivia Bradley's donations. And Grace French really hitting it well.
Put on a show.
Yeah.
231. More swings like that, she might get close to the long ball.
Well, she's in a really good rhythm here to start things out.
Crushes that one. A little further under it. 235. I mean, all these swings so consistent.
Oh, man. Well, and these are to dead center field. I mean, even if she doesn't have the distance, she is right on it every time. I think that's 4 in a row that have gone to the same spot.
Oh, man, that might challenge the long ball right there.
That's got a good chance. Oh.
248. Grace French in some kind of rhythm here.
Plays off that pitch. We'll see now. She's got a little break here. This will be a telling swing. Can she keep it going? Got under that one a little bit.
Belted 2 home runs last season. Rips that one down the left field line. Wouldn't want to get in the way of that one. Compresses another one into center. I think she hit, what, maybe 2 balls that weren't home runs?
Yeah, that was a great effort. Didn't get the long ball, but she has a, yep, she's going to go again, but she's going to take a little break there. Didn't get the long ball, but man, that might have been the most impressive performance we've seen just in terms of consistency. And so many of those swings, Larry cleared 230.
Crushed the softball and gets a well-deserved break. I don't think she'd want to take 20 swings. Again, season coming up in a few weeks. Got to conserve that energy. ALLIE PAREGIEN taking some hacks here. California native. Hitting the ball well.
Yeah, that one just clears the fence. Excited to see what she can do. And, you know, when you think ALLIE PAREGIEN, I think the first thing you think of is speed. And you see on your screen 82 attempts and 82 steals in high school, and 28 of those coming her senior year last year. But showing here now, you know, and granted it's BP, but showing that she can do a lot with the bat as well.
Well, Joey, I know that's one thing that we were talking about before we went on air, maybe the most impressive high school stat we've stumbled across in all these bios, but she was also the class valedictorian, so doing it all in the classroom and on the softball diamond.
She had a busy 4 years at Exeter Union High School, but definitely made the most of it. Really excited to see what she can do in a Bradley uniform.
Brief break as we refill the buckets. Coming down the stretch of the long ball derby. Glad you've joined us today on Clutch Sports Media. And we'll take a look at Bradley softball's 2022 schedule, getting started on February 11th against Weber State. It's the GCU Kickoff Classic in very warm Phoenix, Arizona. I envy them for that road trip. Weber State, Kansas, Northern Colorado, and Grand Canyon. Joey, a lot of warm weather states on the schedule early.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm a little jealous. They'll go to Nashville, Tennessee. Always a lot of fun right there. Matt Harrington, our producer, points to the March 4th game against St. Thomas at the University of Missouri in Columbia. St. Thomas University is just a couple blocks away from Matt Harrington's home over in St. Paul, Minnesota.
But also notable because I think that'll be one of their first Division I softball games.
Yeah.
St. Thomas making the jump from D3 to D1. Also, a lot of good Power 5 teams on the schedule. Missouri on there as well. Syracuse, Auburn, as well as Delaware State over at the Invitational in Auburn, Alabama. Looks like Bobby Parker's going to take some swings here, Joey.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Well, we saw what Mackenzie Taylor did a little bit ago, and Bobby Parker coached Mackenzie Taylor youth softball. So let's see what Bobby can do.
Okay.
Takes one into the outfield, his first attempt.
Bobby, the sports information director for a lot of Bradley sports. Crushes that one into center.
Good swing.
Putting on a line drive display.
That might have
Sends
a chance.
that one to the opposite field.
Oh.
Just short. A little WTP from Bobby.
I think he hit the cage before he got out here today. He looks ready to go.
Wonder when the last time he picked up a softball bat was. That one will scrape the ceiling.
A lot of arc on that one. Oh, man.
That'll come up short, I think.
Yep.
It will. Almost a ground rule double.
Look at the opposite field power. Oh, he's
that
going to
one
take this
deep
one to
center.
Dead center.
That one's gone.
Oh, man.
199 from Bobby Parker. How about another one?
Oh.
No doubter. 208. Hops that one into center. And that's all for Bobby Parker. A well-deserved round of applause for Bobby. 2 home runs. Not too bad.
Not at all. Takes a bow. Oh, man. How much fun has it been out here today? Elvis
That's
Dominguez
been a lot of
in
fun.
the house.
Elvis Dominguez stops by. Bradley baseball head coach. Always good to see Elvis. Anna, the trainer, steps in here.
And Larry, we've reached the point in the game. We don't even have graphics for a lot of these guest hitters. You know, it was just kind of a last-second decision. That was snagged one-handed over there by the Hit Tracks machine.
Yeah, that almost went right into the computer,
Yeah.
so good play by the person attending to that over there. I got to say, big shout-out to the Louisville Sluggers staff today. I think they spent like an hour trying to configure the Hit Tracks machine. It took a while, but they got it all figured out just in the nick of time.
Yeah, they put in a lot of work. I think it was an issue with the lighting. They kind of had to recalibrate some things, but got things going. Got to say, the entire staff here at the Slugger Complex, in or out of the dome, they're so good at putting on events. Hosted the IHSA State Softball Tournament in June, and they host so many travel tournaments here throughout the year-round, really. The dome open throughout. The home of Bradley softball. They've hosted the Missouri Valley Conference tournament a couple of times here. Or just once, I think, but that Bradley has hosted it a few times.
Well, I'm sure they'll host it a few more times.
They ought to, yeah.
This venue, nice as you'll find across the Midwest.
In fact, I remember it was the 2019 Missouri Valley Conference softball tournament. They were able to pivot inside and have a couple of games here in the Dome, those early round games, inclement weather forcing them to do that. But you're not going to find a lot of sites in the Missouri Valley Conference, Larry, that have the ability to do that. You know,
exactly.
You can come inside and play some indoor ball. Here's French again, see if she can pick up where she left off.
Again, the swing to beat is 272 feet from Abbott Bagley, the freshman from West Lafayette, Indiana. 187 from French. A little fatigue coming into play maybe. She hit a home run on all but 2 swings in her first go-around, and her second, now she's getting into it. 219 there from French. Opposite field home run. 212. Pops that one into center. No wind to help out these players inside, Joey. We were commenting, I think, before we came in. If they moved this thing outside today, I think the jet stream would make Bradley a little bit of money. A little windy outside today. That one crushed into the inflatable batting cage, 228.
Well, I will say on that, the high outside today, I think is 22 degrees. I think you'd have a lot of hands hurting pretty bad after 10 swings.
Yeah, I remember, back in my youth baseball days, playing in the cold in April and May. Don't miss that. 236, the long ball from Grace French on her go-round there. Another guest hitter coming up. Try and get a name here. Carla Bothas, the administrative assistant for Bradley Athletics, taking some swings. I think I played club golf with her son Bryce.
There you go. Small world.
Indeed.
And she does so much for the Bradley Athletics Department, so nice to see her getting a chance to come out here and get some cuts in.
Making good contact. I think the elevation is the problem. There's some elevation into center.
Yeah, that'll leave the infield.
Well, duck snort. That'd probably be a single in a real game, I would say.
We'll see if the hit, again, I mentioned you can see what HitTrax thinks it would be, top left of your screen. But I agree with you. I think HitTrax said that would be a fly out. I give
I disagree.
That's a bloop.
You got to have a quick
day.
Center fielder to make that catch.
Yeah, or one of the best middle infielders of all time.
Ozzie Smith, maybe.
That's a good signal right there for sure. Yep, and HitTrax agrees that time.
A nice showing from Carla. Fun had by all here at the Louisville Slugger Dome.
Oh, you look everywhere. I mean, there are smiles all around on the players, coaches, those in attendance. This is just a lot of fun to be a part of.
Here we go. Stretch it out.
Nick Gay is going to take some swings here.
He was the one, Larry, that had that one-handed catch a moment ago that saved the computer screen.
Yes.
Oh, right back to us.
His brother Spencer played at Bradley as he's trying to destroy our computer now, perhaps.
Oh.
I saw him take some cuts earlier as they were trying to configure the HitTrax machine, and I got to say his swing did not look bad.
He'll straighten it out. I think you were looking down on his first swing, Larry, but
I was.
I mean, that came right back. You know, we're just a little behind our camera, maybe off to the left a little bit. That one came right back at my face. I mean, that probably lands square in my chest if there's no screen.
Oh, makes a nice snag off the net there. He's shown off some good reflexes today.
Hand-eye coordination. I wish we had a shot of that catch he made because, I mean, that was just – there's a swing.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
look
man.
out. 289, the long ball. Furthest hit we've seen today.
Oh,
How about
man.
another one for good measure? Surprised that one didn't tear a hole in the dome.
Ooh.
Could have had a Metrodome incident here in Peoria.
Oh, man. The dome slowly I mean, it took him a minute, Larry, to kind of straighten his swing out. You know, fouled a couple off, but man, if there was no Teflon ceiling there, if there was no bubble, that probably flies all the way to Dunlap.
Oh boy, I'm getting called into
You're going?
the cage.
Larry Larson.
All right. Oh boy.
Here's Larry Larson, folks. He takes the mic off. We'll give it to Matt Harrington, our producer. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be fun.
Can't believe this is actually happening right now. He's really going to do this.
Get warming up, Matt. I think you're on.
Oh,
I might be on deck.
I don't know if the fans want to see your swing, Joey.
I don't think anyone wants to
No
see
offense,
swing.
but it's not pretty.
I think that's what we'll
Larry, on the other hand,
yeah.
now this is a guy who played baseball in high school, of course, at Belvedere High School.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm sure it's been a while. I don't know if he was expecting to take part in this today, but see how he does here.
Well, Larry, of course, the voice of the Beloit Snappers.
That's right.
High
Beloit
A,
Skycarp, that is now.
Skycarp. Wow, that's embarrassing. Larry's going to watch that back, and we won't tell him I made that mistake. Skycarp, High A of the Marlins.
Yes.
Formerly the Snappers.
Oh, good rip right there.
Larry takes that one into center.
184.
Let's see if Larry, oh man. And Larry had no warming up today. He's coming in completely cold. Even mentioned a moment ago that it's a little chilly in here.
Would have been a double right there.
36.
Oh, that's a good rip.
That has a chance. Warning track power.
194 though. That's his high so far. Oh,
that
get
has
out.
a chance. That's almost.
Oh, almost. 191.
I don't know how many. You could hear him grunt as he let
Yeah.
that swing go. I don't know how many
He's
he's got
feeling it.
left, but some loud. I think our Mike might. Oh, that's a nice snag. I think that's Lucy Mead making the catch out there.
197 right now, the high for Mr. Larry Larson.
Warning track power again.
I think he's got one more left in him, Joey.
He is visibly exhausted.
Yes, he is.
Almost.
Oh, man. Hey, 197, though. That was an impressive performance by Larry Larson. And impressive stuff overall. Coming in cold, I mean, it's about as good as you're going to see right there from a guy that didn't know he'd be swinging the bat here today. All right, now we got Coach Hayes here as well. We'll let Larry get back on the mic here as well, but I'm impressed, certainly.
Impressed as well. No, that was a great performance. Again, completely cold. I think he threw a ball once when we were setting up, but certainly no swings. And Coach Hayes with a nice rip. That'll find the gap.
Good stuff, Elvis, I gotta see you take some swings in here, man. I gotta see you take some swings in here, man.
Larry shares a quick word with Elvis Dominguez, Bradley baseball head coach. I think this will be Amy Hayes' third or fourth swing. Takes that one right back to the circle. Good job, Larry.
Thanks.
Couple nice rips in there.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna feel that in my back tomorrow.
Sure. Oh man.
Whew. Wish I could have elevated a little bit more on the first few swings, but hey, I didn't swing and miss. That was the biggest goal.
No, that was a very respectable effort.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm very much out of breath. 197, my high. Oh, couldn't quite crack 200. Amy Hayes thought she had a home run, maybe.
She wanted it. The players wanted it too.
169.
Coach Hayes in her 14th year here on the Hilltop. A little opposite field power there. Larry, I don't know if you heard. Called them the Beloit Snappers. I finally made that mistake on the air. You didn't hear that?
I did not.
A little mini throwback. They just rebranded this offseason.
Yes,
correct?
yes. They originally planned to rebrand mid-season last year, but that fell through. I don't think people were too keen on changing the Snappers name. Understandable.
Mid-season's a tough time to do that.
I'll probably make that mistake. Amy Hayes, deep center.
Oh,
Another.
I think with an assist from Lucy Mead, she gets it out.
I got to say, I think Lucy Mead robbed me.
She did.
Earlier. Oh, man.
She didn't even make it look difficult either.
Yeah.
Bloop.
All too easy. Game comes easy for some. And a few of us are not included in that some. Coach Hayes played at Evansville in her collegiate career, also started her coaching career there. Staying around the Missouri Valley Conference for her softball career.
And a lot of success at Bradley. 2 Missouri Valley Conference titles in that going on 14 years here at Bradley. Snow coned out there. Respectable effort from Amy Hayes, getting some rips.
Trying to find out. They're trying to convince somebody to hit over here. I'm not sure who that is.
Get a look at our updated stats. Going on $18,000 raised. We're at $17,537 right now. That includes flat donations and nearly $8,000 raised just with that long ball bonus today. $7,681 raised so far today. 17,600 and change. Amy Hayes talking with us. Bobby Parker shows her the official figure there, which I already forgot. It's 17,600.
That's a lot of numbers. A lot of numbers. Hard to keep track of. We've been saying a lot of numbers today. Who's on his way?
Brian Wardle's on his way.
Oh, how about that? I wonder if he'll be able to beat my numbers.
That'll be interesting.
Division I athlete, me, I don't know. Tom Adams is going to take some swings here. Joey's going to work on finding out who he is. Tom Adams, an athletic trainer. All the trainers getting their hacks in today. Good-looking hacks.
Athletic trainer.
Indeed. Pick that up.
I thought we knew that before I went, and I asked Bobby a separate question, but nice rip.
Frozen rope down the right field line. Off the scoreboard.
Brian Wardle has arrived, by the way. He's in the building.
Ah.
I don't know. Easily the most I don't have a problem saying easily the most impressive swing we've seen was from Nick Gay earlier. I'm going to go back to that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Just a rip. I mean, that would have poked a hole in the ceiling. My goodness.
You can press that thing. I mean, just you saw the spin on it. Nuts. That one might get out, and it will. 210.
Best part of seeing anyone from the athletic department, coach, whoever it would be, is just seeing the reactions from the players in the outfield.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping up and celebrating.
And it kind of shows, how much of a support staff it takes to run, just one single team. So many athletic trainers, so many people behind the scenes working with the budget, scheduling. It's not just the coaches. It goes well beyond the coaches. As Brian Wardle's going to take some swings here.
Getting ready to go. Getting loose. Brian Wardle, 7th season as Bradley's head men's basketball head coach.
Coach Wardle's going, and he's betting on himself. So he's putting $1 per foot.
$1 per foot from
Okay.
Coach Wardle himself
All
on
right.
the long ball here. So let's see.
How many outs do I get?
Matt Harrington points out, very tall guy.
Yeah.
Coach Wardle, former D1 basketball player up at Marquette. Pops that one into shallow right. And $1 per foot. I got to say, we'll let him get warmed up here.
Well, I mentioned that swing from Nick
Oh,
Gay a
boy.
moment ago. It took Nick
Look
Gay
out.
a minute, and Coach Wardle's starting to find it here.
Right off the U. Another frozen rope. Right off the base of the wall.
Right under the R. That's been a theme. It takes you a couple swings to get going, but once you find it.
Oh, man. That one will stay in the yard.
Lucy Mead loves just kind of casually trying to rob these home runs. Line drive. Ooh.
Oh. Missed a home run by about a half a foot.
I don't know if that changed elevation off the bat at all. My goodness.
He's got 3 more. Taking a breath. And really, you don't really realize how much this takes it out of you until you start doing it.
Well, that
That
has
one-
the chance.
We'll go.
Got it.
188 from Coach Wardle. He's got one more.
See if he can make it count.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
off
man.
the ceiling.
219.
219. That's the high from Coach Wardle.
Impressive effort, though.
Yeah.
Again, and I can say the same about your at-bat. I can say the same about a lot of the swingers we've seen kind of coming in cold. The players had the advantage of warming up, going through a little batting practice beforehand, but the likes of Brian Wardle, Larry Larson, coming in cold and just letting it rip.
Didn't expect those two names in the same sentence today. And we are all wrapped up from the Bradley Softball Long Ball Derby. We'll let Bobby Parker total up the total donations. We'll get that number, and then we will wrap up this presentation. But we do want to take a moment to thank our entire crew. Matt Harrington at the controls, making sure all those great graphics get shown on the screen. Jonathan Michael behind the camera, in harm's way, so to speak. Larry Larson, Joey Wright here in the booth. Joey?
That'll be $17,537 raised for Bradley Softball. That's a combination of the flat donations we talked about earlier and the distance-based donations, which varied from player to player. For example, Brian Wardle pledging $1 per foot for his donation. But when you add it all up, it's $17,537 raised for Bradley Softball.
Over $17,000 raised today in a little over an hour at the Louisville Slugger Dome here in Peoria. So, Joey, any final thoughts?
Just how much fun it was out here today. I mean, my goodness, smiles on everyone's faces. The players loved it. We loved it. The coaches loved it. Our guest appearances today, Mackenzie Taylor, Brian Wardle, Nick Gay with the long ball on the day, 289 feet, and many more, you know, just coming out and having fun. Great way to spend a Friday afternoon. Season getting ready to start in just a couple of weeks in warmer weather. But, you know, the weather inside the dome was conducive to a lot of long balls and a lot of fun this afternoon.
It was indeed a lot of fun. Want to thank Bradley Softball for having us, head coach Amy Hayes, as well as Bobby Parker for extending the invitation. So that about does it from here in Peoria today. So for our entire crew, Jonathan Michael, Matt Harrington, my partner Joey Wright, this is Larry Larson saying so long and have a good Friday. Thanks for watching the Bradley Softball Long Ball Derby.